Have you ever left for just a little while, thinking everything would be fine, only to come back to utter chaos? That's exactly what happened when I left my husband alone for 3 weeks. What could go wrong, right? Well, let me tell you, everything. If you think you've heard it all, trust me, you haven't. You'll never guess what he did while I was gone. Stick around, because it's one wild ride. Now, if you've ever dreamed of getting back at someone who ruined everything you worked hard for, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready for one of the most ridiculous, yet somehow satisfying, stories you'll hear today. It was supposed to be just another work trip. Nothing fancy. I've traveled for work before, and my husband, well, he's 41 years old. He's an adult. I didn't think I needed to babysit him. We're both adults. We have our routines. So when he said he wasn't coming with me, I thought, okay, he'll be fine. He told me he'd just stay home, play some games, and order pizza. I'll hang back, game a little, and relax, he said. I smiled and kissed him goodbye. It was supposed to be easy, but oh boy, was I wrong. By day 2, it all started to unravel. I'll never forget the text I received that afternoon. Decided to become a grill master. My first reaction was, wait, what? I thought he was joking. But no. I come home to find that he stacked 3 baking sheets on top of each other, drenched them in lighter fluid, and was attempting to grill food indoors. Naturally, the smoke alarm went off. And not for a minute or two. We're talking 40 minutes of continuous blaring. And you want to know the worst part? The oven still smells like gasoline. It's been weeks and I can't get rid of it. As if that wasn't enough, by day 4, I started getting texts that made my blood boil. Babe, I've watched a ton of TikToks. I think I'm going minimalist. I was like, minimalist? What do you mean? Well, he proceeded to throw away half our dishes. Gone. As in all of them. He kept only a single bowl for himself and the dog's water dish. He didn't even spare our salad bowl. Can you imagine? 1 bowl for a grown man. Just one. It wasn't just the house that was falling apart, it was him. I knew he was trying to be fun and creative, but something deeper was happening. I could feel it in the tone of his texts, in his strange ramblings. But what he did next made me feel like I was living with a total stranger. By week 2, I couldn't even deal with it anymore. I was getting pictures of what he was eating. He bulk ordered 20 frozen burritos. And here's the kicker, he was eating them half frozen. His excuse, it's basically a cold wrap, saves electricity. I'm trying to get work done, and he's sending me these images of him munching on ice-cold burritos. And I'm just thinking, I'm a fool for leaving him alone. But it wasn't just the burritos that threw me over the edge. He stopped doing laundry altogether. Completely. By the time I returned, he was rotating between 2 pairs of basketball shorts. And the smell. Let me paint the picture for you. His shorts had literally fused into something that could only be described as denim-adjacent cardboard. I'm telling you, even the dog started growling at him when he sat down. It was that moment, the moment I knew I had to finally walk in and confront this madness. I came home late one night, absolutely exhausted, and I stepped into the living room. What I saw almost made me lose it. There he was, shirtless, sitting in the middle of the living room. What was he doing? Playing a recorder. You know, one of those instruments they make you play in elementary school. Yeah, he bought one off Amazon and was playing it like it was some concert-worthy solo. The room was filled with the scent of burnt plastic and ranch dressing. You know, ranch dressing, because apparently that's what he thought was a reasonable snack to accompany his recorder playing. It was a sensory overload of chaos. That's when I realized. It wasn't just about the mess. It wasn't about the burritos. It was that he'd stopped caring about everything. About us. About what we'd built together. So, there I was, sitting at a cafe the next morning, staring down at my coffee. I was holding on to this tiny shred of sanity while my husband's mind seemed to be spiraling further into this nut-based chaos he'd created in our home. The dog had relocated to the bathtub, too terrified to come out. I could barely recognize the man I married. It wasn't about revenge, not really. It was about reclaiming control. Reclaiming me. So what do you think? Would you have let it go, or would you have done the same as I did? If this story left you stunned, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. There are more stories like this on the way. Trust me, you don't want to miss them.